Bayview is calling. Hidden shops, legendary tuner cars, and hundreds of races stand between us and 100% completion. Today, our Underground 2 journey begins.
Hey, Hotshot, you're cleaning up out there.
Hey everyone, welcome to Nebula Core Gaming. After taking on the streets of Rockport and Need for Speed Most Wanted, it's time for a brand new adventure. We're heading to Bayview in Need for Speed Underground 2. And our goal is simple: complete every race, unlock every stage, and experience everything this legendary game has to offer. So buckle up, because our road to 100% completion starts right now.
We like what we see. There's room in my posse for you, and I ain't taking no for an answer. What's it gonna be?
Hey, the party's kicking and they want their star. You better get here quick. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, everything's cool. I just had to take care of a little problem.
I figured you might want to change things up to help clear your head. Can't say I blame you. Hey, listen. When you get to Bayview, my gal Rachel will hook you up. She's loaned you her ride. It's at the airport waiting. Now it's her baby, so be gentle. Good luck, bro. Be seeing ya.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Rachel, Samantha's friend. I heard your plane finally got in. Well, welcome to Bayview. Hey, if you haven't already guessed it, what you're hearing is the car's short message system, otherwise known as SMS. I don't know if you're familiar with it, so I set it up for first-time use. Read the instructions to find out how it works. Now check out the mini-map. It's simple to use, but make sure you get familiar with it. This is the big city, you know. I need my ride back soon, so meet me at the car lot highlighted on the mini-map.
Not a bad way to arrive in Bayview. For our first drive, we get behind the wheel of Rachel's Nissan 350Z, one of the most iconic cars in Need for Speed history. I have to admit, this thing still looks incredible even after all these years. Unfortunately, the fun won't last long because we're just borrowing it. Time to head to the car lot and give Rachel her car back. It's kind of cruel, isn't it? The game lets us enjoy this beautiful 350Z for a few minutes and then immediately takes it away. But that's part of the journey. Soon we'll have our own car, our own upgrades, and our own path through Bayview.
Word on the wire is that there's some action brewing in Fort Union. I haven't been able to pinpoint the exact location, but you should be able to find them without much problem. My boys say it's some easy pickings, so I thought you might want in. Good luck. I'm out.
finally. Where have you been with my ride, huh? There better not be a single mark on it.
Sam claims you can drive.
Maybe so, but you ain't using my ride. Use your cash to pick out a set of wheels. I'll call you later.
Hey, you can finally replace those wheels you lost. Samantha just wired over your insurance payout. Seems it finally came through. Pick out a ride. I'll hook up with you later. Now that you got yourself a set of wheels, head over to my garage. And don't bother looking for races, because there's nothing going on. And don't keep me waiting again. See you there.
Well, the 350Z is gone, and this is officially our first car in Bayview. It might not be the fastest, the most powerful, or the most exciting car in the dealership, but every journey has to start somewhere. And honestly, that's one of the things I love about Need for Speed Underground 2. You don't begin with a legendary machine. You earn it. Right now, this Toyota Corolla is all we've got. But with enough races, enough upgrades, and a lot of time on the streets of Bayview, we'll turn this little car into something special. Every performance part, every visual upgrade, and every victory from this point forward is part of our story. For now, let's head over to Samantha's garage and see what our first steps in Bayview are going to look like.
Let me give you the 411. Everything in the Bayview race scene goes through me. And if you haven't noticed yet, it's the place to be. The race scene here is big. Whatever you like, you can find it, if you know where to look. Drag, drift, circuits, and way more. The scene runs so deep, we're racing in places you wouldn't believe. Of course, with that comes an opportunity for some serious money. Best of all, there's an invitation-only series called the Underground Racing League for the elite driver, where the coin and the props are off the hook. All it takes is the right cred and the proper connections. Remember, this is my town. You're a guest, so max respect. Round back is Tommy. He's a wizard under the hood. He'll hook you up.
Hey, dude. Rachel set it up so you can handle all your business out of the garage. She set aside some room for you. Come on, I'll show you where you can store your rides. Yo, here we are. Your own personal space. You can lay out all your parts and gear here. There's also some tools in the back so you can custom tune your ride.
Hey, by the way, I forgot to mention that there's a lot of action in the city tonight. I've uploaded the race locations into your map. Go out there and start making a name for yourself.
All right, we've officially been welcomed to Bayview. Samantha just gave us a crash course on how things work around here. From the different race types to building our reputation on the streets. We also met Tony. Looks like he'll be helping us keep this Corolla in one piece while we chase bigger and better upgrades. Now that the introductions are out of the way, it's finally time to do what we came here for. Race. This first circuit event might not be the biggest challenge we'll face, but every legend has a starting line, and this is ours. The Corolla isn't exactly a powerhouse right now, so we'll have to rely on clean driving and smart racing if we want to come out on top. Let's head to our first event and see what Bayview has in store for us. Here we go. Our very first race in Bayview. Dave seems pretty confident after that message, but now it's time to see what happens when the talking stops and the racing starts. This might just be the opening race of the game, but every journey has a first step, and this is ours. Right now, we're driving a completely stock Corolla with no fancy upgrades, no extra horsepower, and no advantages. It's just us, the car, and the road ahead. The goal here isn't just to win. It's to learn how this car behaves, get comfortable with Underground 2's handling, and start building our reputation around Bayview. If we can pick up our first victory today, it'll be the first brick in our road to 100% completion. All right, let's focus up and see what this Corolla can do.
One lap down, and we're currently leading the race. Not bad at all for our very first event in Bayview. The Corolla's actually feeling pretty good through these corners. We don't have the speed to simply pull away from everyone, so keeping our racing line clean is going to be important. Of course, one good lap doesn't win a circuit race. We've still got another 2 laps to go, and all it takes is one mistake for the cars behind us to close the gap. Right now, the priority is simple. Stay smooth, stay focused, and don't give Dave a chance to back up all that trash talk. Let's bring this one home.
Two laps down, and we're still holding on to first place. The Corolla might not be the most exciting car in the game, but it's doing exactly what we need it to do right now, keeping us in front. Here's a cool fact about Need for Speed Underground 2. Unlike most racing games of its time, Underground 2 introduced a fully explorable open world. Instead of simply selecting races from a menu, players had to drive around Bayview to discover events, shops, and upgrades for themselves. Back in 2004, that was a pretty big deal and helped make Underground 2 stand out from the rest of the racing genre. As for this race, we're in a strong position, but it's not over until we cross the finish line. Let's stay focused, keep the mistakes to a minimum, and try to secure our first win in Bayview.
And that's our first victory in Bayview. It's only the beginning, but every journey starts with a single win. The Corolla has done its job, we've earned some cash, and now it's time to keep building our reputation.
Hey, man.
One race down, plenty more to go.
Nice race back there. But you know what they say, winning ain't everything. Total annihilation is what you're going for. The bigger the gap between you and your opponent, the more rep you get. So maximize out there.
With our first win secured, it's time to try something completely different. Up next is a drag race. Unlike circuit racing, this isn't about taking perfect corners. It's all about timing, gear changes, and squeezing every bit of speed out of the car. Let's see if this little Corolla has what it takes in a straight line battle.
Hey, yo, man. Street drag is the influence behind everything we got. Check it like this. The RPM is the key to getting ahead of the competition. Launch at the right time and rocket into the lead with speed. But if you're slow about it, you'll end up at the back of the pack. Launch is followed by shift, so it's next. It's the daddy of success, so hit it up at the perfect shift point for max power. Now remember, if you slam it too soon or too late, you'll be coming in last. the other guy gets past you, just chill and slide into his slipstream and sit in his draft. Gain precious speed and then make your move to bounce right on by. This is gonna be big, dog. You ready? Good. Go out there and prove yourself.
All right, our first drag race is underway. This time, it's not about finding the perfect racing line, it's all about timing those gear shifts and carrying as much speed as possible down the road. Here's a cool development fact. During development, the team at EA Black Box wanted Underground 2 to feel like a true tuner culture experience. That's one reason they expanded the customization system so heavily and introduced the open world city of Bayview, giving players much more freedom than the original Underground. But right now, history lessons can wait. We've got gears to shift and a race to win. Let's see if we can keep these shifts clean and bring home another victory. That's 2 wins in a row. Not a bad start for a stock Corolla. First, we handled the circuit race. Then, we survived our first drag race. And now, Bayview is throwing something completely different at us. Up next is our first drift event. Unlike the races we've done so far, speed isn't the main goal here. It's all about style, control, and linking together smooth slides to build points. And here's a fun fact. Need for Speed Underground 2 was one of the first mainstream racing games to introduce drifting as a major career mode activity. For many players back in 2004, this was their first real introduction to drift culture. The question is, can this Corolla actually drift? I guess we're about to find out.
Yo, check this. The drift is all about style and control. Remember these 3 words, speed, steering, and handbrake, because they all play a factor in setting up those sweet moves that are gonna get you racking in some heavy points. Make sure you don't go crazy with the brakes, because the faster you go, combined with the more slides you hit, the higher your score is gonna be. Now this score will dictate the multiplier you're gonna get. This multiplier will affect the score of your next drift, so make sure it's high. After you get all them details working together, you gotta start blending drifts into one another. Mesh your drifts into one long seamless slide, and the scoreboard will light up something hard. Now if you think you're wired tight, it's time to go B-I-G big. Try hanging your rubber into the shoulder for bonus points. The more tires you slide through the lanes, the faster you rack up that score. Just remember to stay off the walls, or you lose all your points for that set. So, bro, let's get down to some business and heat up them streets.
All right, it's drift time. Now, I should probably be honest with you guys. When I bought this Corolla, professional drift machine wasn't exactly the first thing that came to mind. Some people start their drift careers with powerful rear-wheel drive sports cars. We, apparently, are starting ours with a grocery getter. Still, confidence is key. If this goes well, we'll look like drift legends. If it goes badly, well, let's just call it an advanced parking technique and move on. Either way, the tires are about to have a very interesting day. Another win in the books, and things are starting to look pretty good for our little Corolla. We've already tackled circuit racing, survived a drag race, and now it's time for our first sprint event. Unlike circuit races, sprint races are simple. There's no looping track and no second chances. It's a straight run from point A to point B, and the first driver to the finish line takes the win. Here's a fun Underground 2 trivia fact. The city of Bayview is divided into 5 different districts, and as you progress through the career, more areas of the city gradually unlock. Back in 2004, having a racing game with a city this large and interconnected was a huge selling point. For now, though, we've got a sprint race to worry about. Let's see if we can keep this winning streak alive.
Race number 4 is underway, and somehow this little Corolla is still undefeated. 3 races, 3 wins, and we're starting to build a bit of momentum here in Bayview. Here's a cool fact. Sprint races are actually one of the oldest forms of racing. Long before modern race circuits became popular, many competitions were simply point-to-point contests where drivers raced from one location to another. In a way, events like this are closer to the roots of racing than the traditional circuit format. Of course, history isn't going to help us if we miss a corner. We've got a winning streak to protect, so let's stay focused and see if we can make it 4 victories in a row. That's 4 races down and 4 wins in a row. Not bad for a Corolla that started the day sitting in a dealership. Now we're heading to the final event of the episode, and it's gonna be a Street X race. If you've never played Underground 2 before, think of Street X as a circuit race with almost no room for mistakes. The tracks are tight, the corners come at you fast, and one bad turn can send you from first place to the back of the pack. Fun fact, Street X was inspired by real-world autocross events, where drivers compete on compact, technical courses that reward precision and car control rather than outright speed. In other words, this mode is all about skill. We've got a perfect record so far today. The question is, can we finish the episode undefeated? Let's find out.
Listen here, you're about to be fully felt by the street cross. This is the hottest new kick slam in the race world. These here tracks are tight. There's very little room to bend the curves, so make sure your ride's dialed in right. Do whatever it takes to get that other guy out of your grill, because the inside lane is where you want to be. The best line in and out of the turns is going to shave serious time off your run. So, tune it for quick sprints and tight slam down control. You know what I'm saying? All right then, get out there and go savage, bro.
right, here we go. The final race of the episode and our first taste of Street X. Up until now, things have gone pretty smoothly. 4 races, 4 wins, and the Corolla has been doing a lot better than I expected. But Street X is a different beast altogether. These tracks are tight, technical, and packed with corners. There's barely any room to make mistakes, and overtaking isn't nearly as easy as it was in the other events. One bad turn, and this perfect record could disappear very quickly. No pressure then. Just one more race standing between us and a flawless start to our Underground 2 journey. Let's see if we can bring this one home.
Hey man, you're raising some serious hype out there. Looks like a couple of companies want to represent you. That means you qualify for the Underground Racing League I told you about. No traffic, no streets, just pure driving. All of it takes place on a controlled private course. Now since you've set up shop with me, I'm gonna act as your agent. I'll take a cut off the top in return for letting you know what's worth looking at.
And that's a perfect start to our Bayview journey. 5 races, 5 wins, and we're officially underway on our road to 100% completion in Need for Speed Underground 2. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to Nebula Core Gaming, and let me know your favorite car from Underground 2 down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, drive safe, or don't.